in Countdown to Lockdown, you and
you're making that Mick Foley shirt work.
Oh, thank you. And I wore my best flannel for you today too. and you know what? I actually have a fanny pack in the car, but I didn't
rock it.
Thank you.
I think you ability to rock
so
various styles. You were making that work for you.
Thank you. I love it.
Yeah.
Bye, Mick Foley.
It looks like you're just throwing things together, and I'm guessing some thought went into that.
It is. You know what? Yeah, a lot of thought goes on.
People.
Thank you. All right. So you mentioned that you have a tattoo and you got it to impress a girl. So my question to you would be, what would be your next tattoo if you had to get one?
You know what? I might go with a Santa Claus tattoo.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
I
might go. I get offers all the time, and I meet lots of tattoo artists. Keep in mind, you know, having a tattoo is limited to like sailors, bikers, and naughty women. You know, in the '80s. Even that song, you know, the Greg Allman show, the song "I'm No Angel," which I used to play every week on my radio show in Cortland, New York. It says, you know, look, come and let me show you my tattoo. And now it's like. It's like everyone's got a tattoo.
Everyone's doing it.
There was like one guy in the NBA in the '70s who had a tattoo. He was probably like an anchor, you know. And so I was the second guy in my high school who got a tattoo, and I got it strictly to impress Diane Bentley. Claimed she was going to get a tattoo. I told her I had one. She told me I was lying. And so again, in order to get reactions, I went out specifically that day to get a tattoo, and I had a fake ID back before New York State required you to have a picture ID. It was my friend's brother who was 12 years older than me and 6 inches shorter, and the guy looked at me, he was like, so you're 29? And I went, yep. And he goes, and you're 5'9"? And I went, I used to be.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay. And then that moment that needle hit my skin, I went, ow!
It hurts!
It hurts!
Yeah.
And he goes, what did you think this was? I went, I don't know, they're gonna paint or... So I got the Black Panther, you know, like just tearing at my, you know, my
It's a good choice.
hip, right? Kind of a secretive place, and I waited. I didn't walk in. I will say this for myself. I had good timing, you know, and instincts. And I didn't say, hey, you don't think I have a tattoo? I waited 2 weeks until poetry class had a substitute, which meant we had like a study hall, and Diane was like, so, how's that tattoo? And I said, it's good. And I waited, and I go, you don't think I have one, do you? She goes, no, I know you don't have one. I said, you really? She goes, Mickey, this is back when I used to have the EY. I know you don't have a tattoo. And I was like, you want to see it? She goes, all right, yeah, I know I'm not going to see anything. And like when I uncovered that, first of all, the only like positive response I'm likely to get when I lower my pants in front of and her reaction was just, it was just so priceless. She, you know, we're in study hall, and she yells, I'm freaking out. And I said, what do you think? She goes, I'll tell you what I think. I think I'm freaking out. And years later, in 1999, it turned out that I hurt a friend's feelings. And not because I'd say anything bad, but that she did not particularly want to be in a wrestling memoir. Not particularly, but not at all. And vowed never to talk to me. Has not.
Really?
And I did reach out.
Oh.
And she wrote back a nice letter. At the tail end of the letter, it was like, yeah, I don't ever want to talk to you. And so I reached out to Diane Bentley just to make sure she was cool with it, because otherwise we'd just change the name. And I said, remember that tattoo I got? I showed you in poetry class, 1981. She said, yeah. I said, did you know I got that to impress you? And she said, no. And then we went through the story, and she goes, did you ever regret getting it? And I thought about it. Like, it was one reaction. It took less than a minute, and left me with, you know,
they're pretty permanent.
They're pretty permanent. A lifetime commitment. And I just thought about it. I said, no, never regretted it. That reaction was worth, you know, a lifetime commitment. And so that has always, you know, stuck with the idea of, you know, creating reactions that I can treasure for a lifetime.
And you've had many, I'm sure.
Yeah, they've been good ones.
Right.
Did you ask my the next tattoo might be Santa.
Santa Claus.
It might be Santa themed.
Where would you put it?
I might cover up one of the more unsightly Foley scars.
Really?
Yeah, I might do that.
But those you earned. You earned
Yeah,
them.
well, some of them I earned, and some were just foolish.
Oh, okay.
You know, I remember saying that specifically to The Undertaker, like when I came into WWE and I was getting changed, and people would go, "Woo," you know, and he was like, "Richard, proud of every one of those." I think that was more Vince McMahon.
That was pretty good. I know you have a good Vince McMahon impression.
I do. And it's given in love, you know, like when I do that, I have very fond thoughts of Mr. McMahon, even though he did write me off the Christmas episode. That's, darn you, Vince. And I remember saying to him at the time, I said, I'm proud of most of them. Some of them were just foolish. So I might cover up a couple of the foolish ones with something fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know you're also really big into theme parks.
Yeah.
And in your book, I'm curious if this is still your favorite roller coaster, because it happens to be mine. The Rock and Roller Coaster, Aerosmith, at now Hollywood Studios, or MGM.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite roller coaster?
It's a tough one because I can't ride roller coasters anymore because of the head issues. I
That
remember it was a
makes plenty of
sad
sense.
day when I got off the Phoenix at Knoebels Grove in Elysburg, Pennsylvania, which was one of the best wooden roller coasters in the country. And the same shaking movement that wouldn't bother everybody else is a big problem when you've had a history of head injuries.
Sure.
And I remember I was so sad the last minute of the ride that I realized I could never go on a ride like that again. So now my favorite roller coaster is actually the Flying Turns at Knoebels Grove.
Okay.
They built this with the lumber from their own lumber yard. It took them like 8 or 9 years to perfect. I mean, they were basing it off a design that was 70 or 80 years old. There was nobody building this ride currently. And no matter what, they couldn't get it to pass, you know, Pennsylvania Occupational Safety Hazards Association rules. And when they finally did, and I went on it with my son, I was like, I have a ride. It's just fun. You know, it doesn't spin you upside down. It doesn't shake you. It's not, it's funny because it's not a thrill ride, but it's a thrilling ride, if that makes sense. And I absolutely love it. But I think I could certain rides, like Rock and Roller Coaster, and maybe Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure.
Okay.
I could give them a try because they don't shake you.
What about, like, you had mentioned Spider-Man at Islands of Adventure?
Yeah.
Still in?
I haven't been on the new version.
Oh, it's
I hear
great.
the new version is great.
Oh,
And one of the reasons I have such great memories is that I went out, it was like a goodbye, a say goodbye to Mick type of party in WWE where we went with, it was Scotty 2 Hotty, and it was Edge, and it was the Hardys, and Al Snow. And I remember Kane was going to go. He wouldn't give up the workout at the gym, which is why he's Kane.
Yeah.
You know, like, because he doesn't give up workouts at the gym. And we had a great time, and we went on that ride. We had such a great memory, you know. And we were with a radio personality from Florida named Sean Halter. I think works in Tampa now. And I remember looking at his face when he realized, wait, these aren't cool guys. They're a bunch of like oversized nerds, you know. Saying, we're on the ride, and we go, Spider-Man, Spider. We're singing the theme song. And we also remember that Spidey, you know, the character walking around was like such a fan. He was like so enamored. He was like, wave, look, Spidey. He was like this, and he was waving. And he turned around and walked right into a steel girder.
Oh.
And as we were being like, you know, driven away or whatever, Spidey was receiving medical attention.
He should have used his Spidey senses. He should have known better.
They weren't tingling that day.
That's